following program is a special presentation of the Big Ten Network, produced in association with Michigan State University.
I'm Jim Peck. Welcome to MSU Today. Here's what's coming your way right now. Making movies.
The film community at Michigan State, it's very cool. It's a lot of people. Everyone pretty much knows each other.
Horsepower.
So in the case of the horse industry, it's a wood-based bedding. Would it be possible to use that material here at this plant?
Dim down.
We've asked everybody on campus to turn off whatever electrical devices they can during their lunch hour.
Chocolate cheese?
Yeah, we make chocolate cheese.
This is the Plant and Soil Sciences building. We'll take you on a tour a little bit later. But right now, check it out. If you think you ought to be in pictures, East Lansing, Michigan could end up being your Hollywood, California. Roll it.
Hurry up though so I can see this.
At MSU,
All right, let's focus.
film has been something that students have been incredibly interested in for as long as I've been here, and that's been 27 years.
That's good.
And so it begins.
The film community at Michigan State, it's very cool. It's a lot of people. Everyone pretty much knows each other. You know every project that everybody's working on.
Do a take and see what it looks like.
That next doorway on your right and stop.
But we've never had a program that really dug into it, that really taught it, that really allowed students to do it as part of their academic programs.
And that was kind of painstaking for me because they're so wrong, because what we have here is wonderful. If you're in the right classes, if you're a telecom major, you can have your hands on a camera every single day.
Let's see some light, just a little bit though. But first we're going to shoot it in this wide shot.
So what we've done over the last 3 years is to work together with people across the river in the College of Arts and Letters to create a program that has both theory and history and criticism and then leads to productions.
For years we've had students doing very good work.
You know, we just go out whenever we've got time, a lot of weekends, a lot of me calling into work and telling them I can't make it, like I just came from.
If you want to do a shot just like this and then take care of all the light, we're going to be losing the light as the day goes on anyway.
It's a matter of collaboration. So we in the English Film Studies department have been able to collaborate with ComArts, and so we've started a new program in fiction film production.
Can we get actors in position?
So what we're trying to do is to create a program that trains people in all of the things they should know about, which includes storytelling, technique, the theoretical perspectives, what other people have done throughout the years in making films, which is the history of film, and to try to give them a much deeper, richer background than we ever have been able to do before.
We try and make it happen as much as we can. We go out there with usually me, Nick Tutalian, and then Adam Sloan is another one of our good friends, and we all work together on a lot of stuff.
You wanted a tripod low setting, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
What interests me, it's kind of like the whole creationism thing, because like when you make a film, you're creating a world in a 16:9 frame. You know, you're making up a story, you're making up characters.
Well, let's help them move all the equipment first.
You're telling a story. It could be as real life.
Well, the last thing I see is me.
It could be as fake as you can make it. It could be Star Wars. You're creating a film, and in the 16:9 frame, you're showing the world that you see and how you see it.
Hey, Sloan, close the door a little bit.
There's been times when I've been on other people's sets just to help out, just to have my hands on more equipment. Same thing, people come on my sets and help me out from time to time.
We've always kind of got something in the cooker.
Organize your thoughts. Whose blood runs the coldest? Who had the most to gain and who has been lying to you?
No, I like it. I like it a lot.
It's actually working. We've actually gotten 2 specializations. One is oriented to documentary, to nonfiction film, and the other is oriented to fiction film.
I want to know what that story is and how it resonates with a larger audience.
Andrea Medic is a real find for us.
Well, I came up last fall to do a master class with a film that I'd worked on.
Man on Wire won the 2009 Academy Award for documentary filmmaking,
which I was fortunate enough to be one of the executive producers for.
She developed Discovery Network's feature documentary effort.
I was so impressed by the creativity here and the real enthusiasm and the kind of work that was going on around the campus.
She's working with us to develop our film initiative.
At the same time, there's an awful lot of excitement going on in Michigan as well.
Independent film community that is operating here in Michigan. That's starting to build.
There's this huge rebate system that's gone into place.
For a long time, I could almost knew everybody who was making films in Michigan by name. And so that's changing.
And it's really bringing in a lot of very exciting possibilities for the state. And it just seemed that there was a moment in time where we could really put something together that would be potentially very interesting for the university.
I think so far the best interview we got was with the PACE officer.
I've looked at some clips. Have gone to a couple of pitch sessions with the students and kind of beaten up on them.
Audrey is kind of interested in hearing what's underway.
I always tell my students I'm a little bit jealous because this is the best time, I think one of the best times to be making films.
It just kind of became like I wanted to make a documentary more or less for their family.
Having your film talk to somebody other than you, how you reach that audience, how you might in fact get funding for it.
Digital was just starting to come into play when I was in film school. And so the issue with that was that, you know, film was seen as something that was kind of way out there. It was hard, it was expensive.
You come here, check equipment out, just go shoot something, do something.
But now, if you have a camera and a laptop, you're on your way.
If you look at what's on YouTube, you can find some incredibly wonderful things.
A truly moving work, it doesn't matter whether it comes from Scorsese or, you know, kind of Joe or Jane Blow here.
But most of it, or much of it, is dreck. And that's because people don't really know how to do the things that are required to tell a good story.
The great thing about now is that anyone can be a filmmaker. The bad thing about now is that anyone can be a filmmaker.
The student films are remarkably sophisticated.
I got hits for festivals for us.
Having the Michigan Film Initiative is a terrific bonus for us, and the timing is perfect because the students we're training will be able to find some kind of work, hook into film opportunities, and be able to put into practice the things that we're trying to teach them.
I know, I think it's really cool. It looks really like...
Was it too much?
No.
So therefore, there are lots of opportunities for the students that we're trying to train who might not actually have to leave the state to be able to work on films, which would be a great thing.
There's a lot of media creativity here, and I think that's really the spark that can bring people together.
Good work will capture you.
Awesome. Let's get another one just like that.
This presentation has been brought to you by Michigan State University, America's premier land-grant institution. 150 years of advancing knowledge, transforming lives.
When I was greener than the hill, where flowers grew and the sun shone still. Now I'm darker than the deepest sea. Just hand me down, give me a place to be.
Taking care of the environment happens in a lot of different kinds of ways, and sometimes it means getting energy from a different kind of horsepower. Matt Shane is an MSU researcher. He's always got his eyes peeled for new ways to recycle and be green. One day, Matt got a potentially great idea from an unexpected end of his research.
Well, one of my jobs at Michigan State University Extension working with livestock producers is to deal with issues like manure management.
You can probably guess this didn't necessarily have the sweet smell of success right off the bat.
No, it was kind of shocking that we were thinking about it.
Turns out that what's in the bottom of the horse stalls is mostly wood, along with some other stuff. It gave Matt an idea.
Well, what about the horse industry? There's a lot of wood-based horse bedding, whereas other livestock industries might use more straw. So in the case of the horse industry, it's a wood-based bedding. Would it be possible to use that material here at this plant?
And after a bit of testing and research, it came through.
So now a lot of wood-based horse bedding is turned into electric power. Bloomfield Open Hunt is a surprisingly picturesque horse operation outside of Detroit. They used to pay a trash removal company a lot of money to haul away their stall waste. Now they clear out the stalls, pile up the contents, and the trucks from MidMichigan Recycling scoop it up and carry it away.
We like it. I mean, that was one of the reasons why it was brought to us by our membership, because we do try to go as much green. We do a lot of recycling here all through the club. And so whatever we can do to make it more green, our membership was real excited to participate in.
And rather than heading to the landfill, this stuff heads to the power plant.
Most farms would be paying a significant amount of money to get rid of this material normally, and having this option that's a much lower cost and environmentally friendly way to recycle this material is just a win-win for everybody.
Once here, and this is pretty cool, the whole truck backs up onto this thing.
It's a whole truck tipper. Generally, the truck and trailer can fit on there, and it basically raises it up. I believe it's about a 60-degree angle. The wood comes out, and truck comes down, and he's on his way back out the door.
So essentially what happens is the material's brought to the plant here, it's dumped, and it's piled up, and it's blended with the other tree waste material, and then it's burned to ultimately generate electricity.
It's basically burnt. The boiler's walls are filled with water. There's tubes up in the ceiling of the boiler. It's all superheating that steam, which turns the turbine.
Which, in turn, creates electricity.
The main thing is that it's recycling. It's a green power plant. We're carbon neutral. There's nothing that could be said bad about that.
We don't usually think of this part of Michigan as horse country. Apparently, we should.
There's approximately 155,000 horses in Michigan, and the vast majority of them are located within 100 miles of this plant. And they all, for the most part, use wood-based bedding, so this is a perfect fit to have another option for them to do manure management and continue to have the farms in these more urban and suburban areas.
Matt says it's also a perfect fit for MSU, totally in keeping with the mission to making a difference and being green.
MSU is looking for solutions. We're a research-based institution. Extension is the outreach arm of that. And so one of the issues that I work on a lot of my time is manure management on these farms. And so I'm really looking at it from the livestock environmental side of things, not necessarily from the alternative energy thing, but that's also a primary focus of MSU Extension and MSU's research in general. So it's a perfectly natural fit to have MSU involved in a project that is taking the agricultural economy with the bioeconomy and putting those two things together to make them work.
This is a big effort. It's hard for them to say just how much they're saving by recycling this wood, but the raw numbers are pretty impressive.
If you look at the amount of material, we conservatively estimate if all horse farms use wood-based bedding and you take sort of an average utilization of how much wood would go into that, we figure there's up to 2 million cubic yards of material that would be generated. Now, we can't capture all of that here, and some of it does, as I mentioned, go to other uses, but it's a huge impact to the industry if you don't have any place where that can go feasibly.
So the next time you turn on a light or the TV to watch our show, think about the fact that it might just be happening with the help of a different kind of horsepower. Saving energy is easy as turning off the light switch and shutting down your computer. And at a great big university, those little efforts really make a difference.
Earth Hour was started several years ago, and it was really an effort to demonstrate energy reduction possibilities just by turning lights out. We decided to get involved because of our energy conservation campaign on campus, our Be Spartan Green campaign, and we wanted to see what we could do.
We've asked everybody on campus to turn off whatever electrical devices they can during their lunch hour. So lights, computer monitors, things like that, to see what kind of an effect we can have on the campus load in the middle of the day as a conservation measure.
We did dim down on Friday to try to have the campus community, faculty, staff be able to participate. When it's on the weekend, it's mostly students who are on campus, and we really wanted to have a chance to see what the whole university could do. And that's where we really saw the greatest reduction.
Well, we dropped to, you can see 42.5 megawatts now. We were at 43.1 megawatts before we started seeing some load drop. So that's a pretty substantial change in a short period of time. So we're pretty happy with that.
We've got about 20 to 25 buildings real-time metering online where we can track live what's happening in a building.
A couple weeks ago, the load actually went up at noon, and today it's a significant drop, like maybe 200 kilowatts down to 120 kilowatts.
When you look over the whole year, we could save close to $1 million in fuel if we did that every day of the year, and that would be about 17 metric tons of CO2 saved, not going into the atmosphere.
Students can do a lot of things. The biggest thing is to find ways to cut your energy use. So turning off your lights is one of the biggest visual ways that they can do it, and then trying to find activities that don't use energy. This is just a small moment in environmentalism. That's the whole point about the Earth Hour event, is it's showing that you turning off your lights for 1 hour is going to make a huge impact on the world. Well, if you come down here, and you're going to find the opportunity to learn how to participate in a drum circle. You're going to find a lot of important information about the environment and the impact that you make and the way you can reduce that impact.
It's been quoted to me that we're the 23rd largest city in the state of Michigan when we're all here on campus. We need to be leaders and show other cities how to reduce their energy consumption.
It really shows that the university is taking environmentalism and sustainability serious, and that by becoming a flagship for this event, we're going to be able to take that to the next step.
I know that a lot of people did participate, so that made me proud. Proud to be an MSU Spartan, be Spartan Green. You ask people to help, and they will help.
Everyone loves chocolate and everyone loves cheese. So the big question around here is, does everyone love chocolate cheese?
We're in the MSU Dairy Foods Complex.
It is unique.
And it's a teaching, research, and education facility.
Around the holidays we make it quite often. During the summertime it might slow down, but we usually make it once a month. And then a lot more in the fall as Christmas approaches. It reminds me of fudge. And I know people use it, they'll put it on toast, they'll broil it, whatever, kind of melt it, make fondue. It's kind of a unique flavor.
Yeah, we make chocolate cheese.
It's kind of an acquired taste. Either people love it from the beginning or hate it from the beginning.
If you like chocolate, then you'll like it, but if you don't, it's different.
We have a lot of fun with chocolate cheese.
I just wondered what it tasted like.
First of all, we start out by telling our little visitors that, we make it from milk from brown Swiss cows. It's an odd combination. People don't usually think of putting chocolate and cheese together.
You do get some interesting looks. What's it taste like? How do you make it?
Right now we're set up for 9 batches today.
But the recipe is all cheddar. We set aside the cheddar, and for this chocolate cheese we use mild. So anything under 6 months, we don't want the overbearing flavor coming from a sharp cheddar into the chocolate.
Every time I tell somebody about chocolate cheese, they always ask, is it like fudge? And I think it's similar, but it's definitely got that distinct cheese flavor.
We weigh out our dry ingredients. It's got the cocoa in it, skim powder, and the confection sugar. We weigh out our cheese. We have a bowl chopper that we use. We put it in the bowl chopper and we blend it until it's smooth. When it's smooth, then we add our powdered ingredients and blend that till it's smooth. It'll have to blend a few more minutes, but it's close. And then we add a stabilizer to it. Then we add our peanuts, let it go around one time so it just chops them up, not make them into peanut butter. We spatula into cheese hoops so that it can be cooled and then cut into packages of 8-ounce or 16-ounce blocks.
We don't want to waste any of this stuff. It's too good. The products we make are definitely just as good, if not better, as products you find in the industry.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that chocolate cheese confection is the next great health food. But if you compare it to a piece of fudge, the redeeming value is that it does have some very good high-quality protein in it from the cheese base.
We have a lot of students working here.
A number of students that are working for us in the plant.
Gives them an opportunity to have hands-on experience and to be able to work in the plant, in a facility that will be similar to what they're going to out in industry.
The opportunities that I get at MSU are phenomenal.
They get a great learning experience. They learn sanitation and they learn processing techniques and procedures so that they can use that with their degree as they graduate.
Working in the plant and the store at times, I get to see how the product's made, but then I get to see how people enjoy it, and it's really cool.
We've got several who, when they've graduated, gone on to some pretty nice jobs in quality assurance and other things in plants throughout the country.
There's something about chocolate that has a survivability.
We make several hundred pounds, but around Christmas time I think we did 13 batches between November and the end of December, and there were 9 or 10 hoops per batch, so each one's 20 pounds. It's actually quite a bit.
In a good, healthy, balanced diet, there's place for a little indulgence, and that's what chocolate cheese confection is. It's a little indulgence.
I like it a lot.
I actually like it when it's warm.
So it's not for everybody, you know, but the people that like it seem to really like it, and they come back and come back for more.
Once they try it, most people like it.
It's always on the shelf.
It's really cool that we have some really unique products that people can identify with, and it's really like a signature of MSU.
And we major in smiles at the MSU Dairy Store. If somebody goes away from here without a smile, we're unhappy.
This presentation has been brought to you by Michigan State University, America's premier land-grant institution. 150 years of advancing knowledge, transforming lives. It is big. That's the first thing you hear a lot of people say about the Plant and Soil Sciences Building, built in 1986. Inside, you'll find offices and classrooms, laboratories, and greenhouses. The sheer numbers are impressive. Leading-edge research happens in more than 80,000 square feet of lab space. There's more than 76,000 feet of teaching space and a lecture hall that'll fit more than 200. The grounds have space for research and for teaching. Outside, you find the 4-H Children's Garden and more greenhouses. Visually, this L-shaped building changes with the sun. Shadows play with the geometry of the Plant and Soil Sciences Building throughout the day. I'm Jim Peck, and that's it. Thanks for watching. For more on the show, head to the website.
The preceding program was produced by Michigan State University in association with the